Hello, dreamers, and welcome back to PERLA'S Dreams. Sagittarius, this is your reading. And again, guys, these are general readings, so only take whatever applies, and please leave the rest. If you hear any sound, literally my oldest is on the other side of this double window, this double door, excuse me, working as well, and he does work from home. So sometimes he gets a little exciting. He does computer programming, coding, whatever it is, gaming, whatever. He creates games, let's just put it that way, from scratch, and he gets very excited when he finishes something. So if you hear the noise, is he's putting the final touches on a game that he's releasing this week at some point. But anyways, this energy of you guys is more of like this waiting to excel type of energy. You're wanting something to come to light, or something to be seen, to be heard, to be acknowledged, or whatever. You have been sitting on some type of like good news, and you've been dying or excited to share something with like your loved ones or your friends, and you can't until the time is right. Sagittarius is what I'm picking up. So the only thing that I can think of is, like, let's say if you get casted for like a commercial or something like that, and it's like you get casted for like a TV show or something like that, and you want to tell everybody, but it's like you can't tell anybody until like the episode comes up, right? Like you could tell them like, oh, I was casted for this, but you can't tell them like what's gonna happen in the episode. Like you can't talk about like your role or anything like this, because you can't give anything out about the episode or something of that matter. It's something like that. So there's waiting to excel energy for you guys, Sagittarius, during this time. Is not something that is bad or anything like that. I feel that this is something that is good, but it's like you're needing to wait in order to share something with someone, in order to share some good news with someone. Like the time has to be just right. Like spirit is telling you like to hold on. So like when I got approved for this house and all the paperwork and everything, like, we were just waiting to sign and everything. Um, I wanted to tell people as the process was prolonged, like was going along, that I was gonna get this house, but I waited until I got the keys before I told people, right? So it's kind of like that thing. It's like some type of good news, or some type of good something that is happening for you, but you're needing to wait for something to drop, or something to to be closed, or to be whatever, before you share it. Like sharing something prematurely can keep something in a suspended type of energy, is what I'm picking up. Um, yeah, if you share this prematurely, I feel like it's gonna be in a suspended energy where, um, because this is something that clearly Spirit has told you to kind of wait to share. Um, for some of you, this is a pregnancy. Maybe you're waiting for like the second trimester to hit before you share it. Um, there's something of this aspect of like there's some good news that needs to be waited on before it's shared with the world, before it's shared with everyone else. um for those of you that are expecting, congratulations. For those of you that are got engaged, or that aspect of like whatever, like congratulations again. There's something about keeping something under wrap, or keeping something hidden for the beginning stages of something here. um Sagittarius, there's a lot of there are a lot of frenemies that you thought were friends, but are really starting to show their true nature when they know of this success for you. Um, you were always, and again, this is just an example, like you were always like the ugly friend, or the fat friend, or whatever. What I mean by that is, like, there is a group of people that you associate yourself with that like to keep you around, because they indirectly look down to you. Maybe you are part of a group of friends who are all married and you're the only one that's not married, and or all of your friends are engaged and you haven't been engaged, but now all of a sudden you're engaged and now people are triggered over that, not only because you got engaged, but your wedding date was set for a lot sooner than that. It's that type of energy that I'm picking up. So be very aware of how people are reacting versus responding to the good news that you're giving them, right? And again, using that example, like let's say you have a group of like 5 friends and they all have been engaged, but they've been engaged for like 2 or 3 years, and their significant other have not made the attempt to like set a date, but your significant other proposes to you, you're engaged, you already have like the venue. By the time you share with people that you're engaged, you have your venue schedule, everything is like in line, and people are like, wait, what? Like, how is it you got to this spot after us and you're already ahead of us? Like, that type of energy is what I'm picking up, and I think that this is why spirit really wants you to kind of keep this good news to yourself for a while before you go ahead and share it with certain people, because you don't want to get suspended in the same energy that these individuals are. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and see what else do we have. Yeah, I feel like these, because like as much as I want to move away from this energy, because I really don't like to give these energies space in the reading, they are very prominent for your reading during this time. You need to be very aware during this time who these individuals are, and you need to start building certain energetic boundaries between you and these people. You need to start setting some very physical boundaries between you and these people. Again, these are people that have, so if you think about it, it's like people that are always like throwing you like backhanded compliments, right? It's like they're complimenting you, but it's almost kind of like an insult within a compliment type of energy. And it's like you kind of like always look at them, and then you kind of like question yourself, like, wait, am I reading too much into this? Like, is this my like my own unsolved trauma? Is this my own like shadow creeping in? And it's like it's good that you address it that way, that you kind of question before you say, oh yeah, this person is bluntly being this way. But when spirit tells you like, no, this has nothing to do with you, this is like part of them, this is part of what they need to heal, you also need to learn to listen to that part of yourself, because that is a part of yourself that is bringing the lesson, when to have the discernment when it comes to these individuals, when it comes to really paying attention to these connections and these people that you choose to have around you. I don't know. Like we have this aspect of, okay, because I keep on seeing like I wanted to say at first like it was like a butterfly, but they're like, no, it's clearly a moth, and I'm like, okay. Um, for some of you, you've had this kind of like energy of like, well, I want to be a butterfly, not a moth. But if you really look into like moth also do represent transformation. They transform, they represent change, right? um but the beautiful part about them is that as nocturnal creatures, they navigate the darkness. So they represent your intuition and your ability to trust your inner wisdom and unseen aspects of life, right? um they, in some cultures, they're believed to be messengers of the spiritual realm, carrying guidance, reassurance, and even visits from the loved ones who have passed. And they are attracted to the light, both literal and metaphorical. um so they're associated with truth, knowledge, and enlightenment. but they also serves as a cautionary tale against blindly following something that may lead to harm. So again, for some of you, you may have battled, or you may have been battling with this aspect of wanting to be a butterfly, but Spirit is showing you that you are a moth. There's nothing wrong with butterflies, right? But butterflies come out during the day when the light is there. They do talk about transformation, but in a different aspect, in a different way. So look at your own uniqueness within yourself and how it is that you have been able to overcome certain things, because you have like this inner knowing of situations, right, that were not good for you, but for some reason you you didn't apply this aspect of yourself, or this part of yourself, when it came to those friends or those individuals that you chose to have in your life. And maybe you just weren't ready for it. Maybe it was something that spirit was still working through, and that's why they're being shown to you now. They're being shown to you during this time. It's almost kind of like you're seeing behind the veil, you're seeing in the darkness, you're able to see the shadows of people that is covered or dressed up as light or something like that. So like you're able to see something that other people are not able to see during this time, when it comes to those that you choose to call friends. All right, anything else that Sagittarius needs to know in spirit? Anything else? Yeah, there's cutting ties here. This is gonna be an emotional, a little quiet. I do feel that there is gonna be some type of like an emotional roller coaster. But again, there is a sense that these individuals that you are choosing to disconnect from, that you're choosing to walk away from, were in a sense always looking down on you. They kept you around because it made them feel better about themselves. I had one person once, I remember this was years ago, when I had lost over like 80 pounds, tell me, oh, it's not fair that you got to lose weight and I don't, and I don't have kids. And I remember looking at this person and I'm like, what does one thing have to do with the other? Like, but my reflection of like, losing the weight was, a very simple thing. Like I was finally resting, my body was finally resting when I slept, and therefore the hard work that I have put in for years when it came to my eating and my exercise was manifesting on the outer aspect. But even during that time, I didn't cut this person off, right? And then when I look at it now, it's like anybody that comes with that type of energy towards me now, regardless of who they are, whether they're friends or family, is like, that's where we draw the line. You go with that jealousy, you go with that energy somewhere else. I do not invite that into my life. I do not invite that into my space, and I do not allow myself to receive it anymore. And that's kind of like what you have to look for, like what you're looking out for during this time. There may have been families and friends or whatever that have always throw these little, we call them in Spanish puya, te tiran esta puya, right? These little pinches or these little pins or whatever to like to hit or to target your self-esteem or whatever it is that you have allowed, by allowing yourself to receive those messages and not stopping them in their track, right? And that's kind of like the aspect of where you are during this time, realizing maybe these people are not saying anything at all. Maybe they're staying quiet during this time that you are celebrated, or during this time that you are receiving these blessings, right? When things are going good for you, these people are not coming out of they're not celebrating you, they're not even congratulating you, and you're just kind of looking at them like, interesting. Like, I know what I put into my relationship with that person, and it's like, have I been lacking? Have I not been celebrating them? Have I been jealous of them? And you're going through this list of like, whenever this happens for this person, I'm the first one there rooting for them. I'm the, like, and you're not doing it like, you know, sometimes we think that by taking account as to what it is that we give into relationships, we are somehow hindering what it is that we're giving into that relationship. And in reality, it's not always like that, right? Sometimes we have to see what we're putting into relationships so that we ourselves are realizing when we are giving to something that is not being reciprocated. We have to take what is that phrase that I'm looking for? We have to take account, we have to take into account, or we have to take inventory of what we are giving, right, to people, and what people are giving back to us. And there has to be this balance, right? Sometimes you can provide somebody an emotional aspects of thing, and they provide some type of financial security, right? Sometimes you provide somebody a physical tangible thing, and this person provides an emotional aspect. But there either way, the relationships that you have with other people, there has to be this balance of this balance of energy, right? That has to equate, that has to come through. And for a lot of you, you're realizing that with these individuals that are being shown to you that they're your frenemies, is this aspect of just relationships that you've been pouring into, but you have not been receiving anything back in return. We have the King of Coins, of the Four of Wands in the reverse, the Emperor, the Star, the Empress in the reverse, and then the Two of Coins. So again, yeah, this is about making choices when it comes to what it is that needs to be released. No longer holding on to people's or situations just because they are blood related, or just because they've been there for so long, or just because you were told that you needed to be this way or that way. This is a lot about breaking certain norms when it comes to relationships and connections. A lot of the times, and I'm speaking as a parent, right? We want our kids to respect them, but we fail to see that in order for them to learn to respect us, we have to show that to them, right? By the way that we speak to them, by the way that we treat them, right? And a lot of parents, as parents, we don't like to hear that. We just kind of want our kids to like automatically know how to respect us when we don't show them how to, right? This is kind of like the aspect of things that are coming to light during this time. It's like, okay, how are you showing up for people, and how are you allowing people to show up for you? What are you allowing yourself to receive from others, right? And where it is that you are setting boundaries, or you're failing to set boundaries when it comes to certain individuals. So yeah, I mean, do with that whatever you may. Some of you are ready to really take up this space of really cutting ties and really setting very strong boundaries. For some of you, you're still in this space of like navigating whether or not you're truly ready or not, and there's no shame in that. Only you know what you're ready for at this moment in time. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull out an oracle card as your closing message, Sag. And give me one card for Sagittarius, one card for Sag. A higher view, number 41. And I love it. She's sitting on an owl. Look how beautiful that is. And 4 and 1 is 5. Isn't 5 the number of change? I want to say. I want to say that's what it is, right? I have a little pamphlet. Yeah, change, transformation, freedom, etc.
You seen it?
All right, let's see. Number 41. Okay. Seeing from a higher perspective, conscious neutrality, letting go of judgment and assumptions, non-attachment, and the ability to remain unbiased. This is the book, if I can show it. Sometimes our lives are suctioned, cupped to the ends of our noses, and we can't see beyond ourselves. This happens to everyone once in a while. We fall into an automatic response to life and react from a learned and conditioned place rather than one of awareness. Being in a reactivity, being in reactivity keeps us repeating old patterns. Conversely, conversely, where is it? Yeah, conversely, the avoidance of our inner triggers could keep us in our comfort zone, policing our attempt at new things. The way to be successful in your endeavors to connect with others is to step out of your sticky perception of the world. Imagine yourself sitting on the back of a bird 1,000 feet above your life. Wouldn't your perspective change? From a higher point of view, you can see for miles. You can let go of naming or blaming the obstacles in your way and instead easily discover a path of more beautiful and compelling vistas. So again, there are certain things during this time, Sag, that you are seeing, certain things that you cannot unseen. And you're going to have to make decisions based on what it is that is being presented to you, based on what it is that you are seeing, and based on the truth of things that are coming to light. As always, guys, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.